All right. Hello, everyone on Facebook. I'm so excited you are here with us tonight. I am here with Cari Moskow. She is a breast cancer survivor and yoga instructor, and she guides other women through that experience of breast cancer and survivorship. Cari, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
You're welcome, Kara. Thank you for having me. We both are really passionate, about healing and health and wellness. So I'm so excited to be here.
I am so excited, and I'm really excited to share that this is going to be the first of many yoga live streams. So, for all of you out there that are watching, you'll be able to join us from the comfort of your own home. Don't have to worry about anybody watching you learn if you've never done yoga before, but you will still benefit from this at any level. So, if you have experienced it before, you'll still have a lot of wonderful benefit coming from this. I will say that I joined Cari for a yoga challenge recently, and I absolutely loved it. And I learned so much, and I felt so good coming out of it. So I'm so excited to share her with all of you. I know you're going to love this so much. I do ask that if you're joining us, and I see a bunch are popping on live with us right now, that you make sure to say hello in the comments. It's kind of the only way we know that you're here, and it's important as a nonprofit organization that we kind of track that. So make sure you say hi. Don't just like it, but say hello. Let us know who's out there, and make sure if you have questions to pop them in the comments too. I'll be monitoring while Cari is instructing. And then that way I can let her know if there's any questions or things like that, although I'll try not to interrupt too much.
Yeah, I was actually going to say I am open for suggestions if people are on, and I know everybody's probably in a different place. They might be in treatment, might be recovering from surgery, finished with treatment. So if anybody has anything special going on, like tightness in the neck, the shoulders, the chest, the back, or just, whatever, you can type it in the comments and let me know, and I'll probably cover it, but just in case, for next month too.
Yeah, quite great. And then when our session is over, we're going to have time for some questions and answers as well. So if there's nothing that you kind of need right away, hang out to the end of the actual yoga practice, and then you can post questions then as well. Before we get started, I have two quick things that I want to mention. Number one is, if you haven't done so already, go on our page and join our Habit Change Challenge. We've got over 40 people in there that are super excited to start the new year with some new intentions, wanting to kind of break some old habits and restart some fresh ones, and learn more about that kind of science of habit change too, so that you can really master it. So we're going to be in there. I'll be going live at noon tomorrow in there as well. So make sure you join, invite your friends. It's open to everyone. And then the other thing is just a reminder that we have launched our education hub, which you can get to both through our Facebook page, I believe through our Instagram page, and then also from our website. If you just go over to the resources and then drop down that menu, you'll find our education hub right there. Your VIP access is free. You have access 24/7 to some of the best curated material about the whole breast cancer journey, from diagnosis straight through treatment and into survivorship, that you'll need. And remember to get in and log on and get your account set up on there. It is free, and we are going to constantly be adding more and more great stuff. So you don't want to miss out. And then I lied. There's one more thing. I also want to make sure that everyone goes, and I'll be posting Cari's contact information and her business information in the Facebook event, but I want to make sure that you go check her out, like her pages, check out her YouTube. She's got such wonderful videos, tons of content on there that are really, really helpful. I know I've personally already benefited a lot. I've enjoyed them a lot. And with her permission, maybe we'll get to share them onto our Facebook site as well. But she's just an absolute gem and a gold mine of great information. Thank you so much for joining us, Cari. I'll hop off now and let you do your thing.
Okay, great. I'm so excited let's have some relaxation and do some stretching. So if you don't have it, you may or may not, just depends. Want a couple of pillows. If you're recovering from surgery, I definitely recommend, unless you have a couple of yoga bolsters, I would grab some pillows. And then if you have yoga blocks and a strap. None of it's necessary. It just depends on where your flexibility is. And you can always use a scarf, a belt, anything like that for a strap. And instead of blocks, if you don't have any, you can use books and like put a towel over it. Again, you may or may not want them. I'll offer the suggestions. So to start with, we're going to start seated. This could be a place that you would feel more comfortable sitting on a pillow or a block or, you know, a book with towels on it. And how you know is if the lower back feels tight or pinched, or you just have a hard time holding your spine up. So that's simply, I love props. That's when you grab a prop. Otherwise, you're sitting on your mat with me. You could even do this in bed if you want to. And we're going to rock back and forth. Just feel the right and the left sitting bone on the mat. So it's a nice way to come to your mat, basically, to show up, to feel the earth, the ground. And then we're going to focus on our breath work. That's going to be number one of our yoga practice today. So we'll gently take the shoulders, allow them to rest away from the ears. And then I invite you to close the eyes. And if that doesn't feel comfortable, at least have the gaze somewhere close to the floor, because we are more relaxed when we're either focusing on one spot lower to the ground or with the eyes closed. We'll go through some simple breath work, taking an inhale through the nose. And then we're going to take an easy exhale through the nose. Inhale for 1, 2, and then exhale through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll inhale again through the nose. Let's go up to 1, 2, 3. Exhale through the nose for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's go up to 4. Inhale through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold that breath. And then exhale through the nose for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Being in this space, taking an inhale and exhale. So taking a moment, still relax with the gaze, and notice how you feel from that breath work that we just did before you began, even during and after. Notice if you feel more relaxed, more energized, the skin is oxygenated, the cells. And then just take a few rounds of very easy breathing here. Take an inhale and exhale. From this very relaxed place, we're going to take the opposite leg in front just to even it out and let that right ear fall to the right shoulder. So we're going to take those sitting bones and press them on the mat or the bed, wherever you are, shoulders down the back, and that right ear is falling to the right shoulder. Gravity is simply pulling the ear down. We're not forcing it, but we are allowing those shoulders to relax. If you feel any tight areas here, use that breath work. It's an easy inhale, easy exhale through the nose. So something that's worth mentioning that is yoga related and not yoga related is really thinking about that breath work in and out through the nose, because it is a natural filter. So especially with germs, it is the right place to be inhaling and exhaling from. And also, especially with wintertime, the throat can get dry, the lips can get chapped. So it's nice, it's better for you, it's healthier. We're going to take that chin and go down to the chest. Maybe the chin touches the chest, maybe it doesn't. If it can't touch the chest, let it. Press through the sitting bones, sit up a little taller. And then we're going to exhale, bringing that left ear to the left shoulder. So if you are anything like me before I was diagnosed with cancer, I used to feel guilty about taking time for myself because I had so many goals that I wanted to accomplish. And there's only so many hours in the day. So I did feel like a lot of my time, I would feel guilty or I didn't spend that time focusing on myself. And I do think that was my big lesson with breast cancer was practicing self-care. And this counts as self-care. So I think every day it is a huge win when you do something and it really is necessary for yourself. Just like you're letting this left ear relax to that left shoulder, you're allowing the body to relax, the muscles to relax, you're releasing tension, you're releasing trauma, and you're going to be able to be more present in your life once you finish this practice. On an exhale, chin back to chest. So I share that with you in case you ever feel guilty or you don't have the time to inspire you that you are worth it and you should take the time. From here, we're going to take the head up to a neutral place. Let's just rest here for a moment with mindfulness, noticing how the back of the neck feels, the shoulders. And then as you're ready, we're going to take the arms up. Let's take both of the hands behind the head, as long as that feels comfortable. Both of the hands behind the head, and we're going to gently take that right elbow on an exhale towards the mat. So the left elbow up. The heart is slightly shining to the ceiling, and then the abdominals are working here, so you want to use them to support you. So we're going to breathe into that left side body. Take a big inhale and exhale. Inhale. And then exhale, come back to center. We're going to inhale, grow tall, left elbow down, right elbow up. Big inhale. And exhale. So when you take that inhale, feel that air. We're in the right lung rib area. Feel that area getting really oxygenated. Heart is turning up. And then exhale, come back to center, bringing those hands down. And let's just bring the hands onto the thighs, doing a couple of shoulder rolls, going back. And then we're going to go forward. And let's switch that opposite leg in front again. We're going to move a little bit in just a sec. We're going to take those arms up like you're making a goalpost. So the elbows should be similar to in line with the shoulder. I wouldn't have it any higher. If anything, it could be slightly lower. And then the backs of the shoulder blades, see if you could squeeze those together. So this is your inhale. And then exhale, we're going to take the palms touching. Like imagine we're at the gym lifting weights on that machine, whatever it's called. And then you're going to open, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Feel the chest opening, shoulders, and the back of the shoulders. Like if there were a penny in between them, you're squeezing it. Exhale, palms and elbows touch. A couple more times. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Let's open it up. Inhale, squeeze those shoulder blades. And then exhale, we're going to bring the hands down. Let's transition into a child's pose. You may want to put pillows here. So without the pillows, I'll show you first. Big toes touch, knees are as wide as you can. That's going to open the hips. And then hands are going to go forward, forehead to mat. If that does not work out for you like that, you're going to take the pillows and you're going to stack them. And then you can just put the forehead or one ear to the side. Before bedtime, this is honestly with the pillows a really nice way. And then you could take the arms around the pillows and you can hug them. And so if you have the pillows, you can take one ear and I'll cue you to switch sides. Shoulders are going to be away from the ears here. And gentle breath work. Inhale. And exhale. Holding right here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And then as you're ready, we're going to gently switch. If you have the pillows, and the ear will go right ear on the pillows. And if you're on the mat, you'll simply just stay as you are. So notice the safety and the security that you may feel in this child's pose. You may not, but one day that's what I would like to invite you to feel here. This very calming, our heart is facing down. You can feel the support of the floor, the mat, the bed. And also allow yourself to feel it lifting you up and supporting you. Inviting all of that support that you have, that the earth is providing you, the universe, feel that support. And then as you're ready, we're going to gently take those hands and then walk it on up, coming back to a seated position. And then we're going to make our way into tabletop. So in that tabletop, something to think about is your arms are like a table base. So they're going to stay still and you're not going to bend the elbows. And the same things with our legs, they're a table base. So shoulders roll away from the ears. I think naturally sometimes we'll have the shoulders hugging close to the ears. Take the shoulders and roll them away from the ears. And if you've had surgery, you are still building up muscle, I imagine. I know it's 2 years since I have, or a little over 2 years, and I'm still building muscle, regaining from surgery. So I feel you on that. Shoulders away from ears, create that space. And then the penny, pretend you have that penny, you're lightly pinching it. Navel's in, and we're going to move through cat-cow. This is wonderful for pelvic, spine, and the neck. So inhale for cow, feel that throat stretch. The heart is lifting up and the tailbone is exterior rotating. So you're sticking the tailbone to the sky or the ceiling. And then exhale, chin to chest. You round those shoulders like a scared cat. So this is our cat pose. And then you're just going to move with your breath. Inhale, going into cow. Exhale into cat. You can close the eyes, and that really helps you move with the breath here. Or if you're not comfortable with that, you can keep the eyes open, but still focus on moving. That breath work is number one here. A few more rounds. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more round. Cow pose, tailbone lifts. Feel that throat stretch. That's our center of communication and creativity. And then exhale into cat. Come back to table. All right, let's do a little more stretching for the shoulders and chest. You're going to take that right hand and bring it behind the head. From here, we're going to inhale, lift up. If for some reason this does not feel good, feel free to keep the arms straight. But you're with me if it feels good. Navel's in. You're trying to keep the weight equal in the left hand, right knee, left knee. As that right elbow lifts up, this is a deep stretch. You probably even feel it in the armpit area. Exhale, right elbow towards the left elbow. And again, inhale, right elbow to the ceiling, shoulder, chest, armpit area stretch. Exhale, right elbow to left. And again, inhale, lift. And then exhale, we're going to take that right hand down and let's go ahead and thread it under. So right hand behind the left wrist, right ear to mat. Left fingertips reach forward. And then you can keep the left hand beside the head if that feels more comfortable, or you can stretch the left hand forward. Navel is going into spine. And if you want a deeper spinal twist, simply do have the left hand by the head, press the right shoulder, both knees into the mat, and from that place, twist a little bit deeper. You can go back to that breath work. Notice where you feel it in the body. Notice that breath work is what really helps calm our mind. It's what gives us that vacation. And that's when you feel that restorative feeling from your practice. like you just had a little vacation or like you just had a massage. If the left hand isn't by the head, go ahead and slide it there. And we're going to take that right arm up one more time. You can go with a straight arm here. Inhale, lift, and then exhale, bring that right hand down. Back to tabletop. Even notice if that right side of the body feels different. It may feel longer, it may feel more open, whatever it is, just notice. And I always like to notice that because you know that little bit we just did, you just opened the body because you can feel the difference. It's amazing. Left hand's going to go behind the head. And if that didn't feel good, remember you'll have the left hand straight. So navel in, navel to spine. We're going to inhale, lift the left elbow to ceiling. And then exhale, left elbow towards the right. There you go. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, left elbow to right. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. And then let's straighten the left arm this time. We'll inhale, lift, lift, lift. Exhale, left hand will thread behind the right wrist. Left shoulder to mat. And I forgot to mention this, but if this does not feel comfortable, you can put a blanket under your head and your shoulder here. Or if it's a soft pillow that isn't very thick, you can do that too. And that's only if the shoulder and the head do not feel comfortable. If you're in your bed, you'll be good to go. It's only if you're on the floor or yoga mat. Right hand by the head, or it'll extend forward, putting light pressure on the left shoulder. So if you're like, I want a deeper twist in my spine, right hand is by the head, press both knees down along with the right hand, left shoulder, and then twist from that secure place. Notice where you feel the breath in the body now. Do you feel it in the lower back? Can you feel it all the way towards the toes? And then when you're ready, we're going to take that left arm up and then exhale, bring it down. And then let's make our way onto our knees here. So knees are going to be about under the hips. And you can take those arms behind you, just interlace the fingers, give a little lift, bring the navel in and up, and you can shine that heart up. Don't plan on leaning back, just gently tilt that heart up. From here, release the hands. We're going to take the fingertips and lift them up as high as comfortable. And then we're going to exhale, do a little fold. So we're going to go into a flow with a child's pose. So chest on thighs, forehead can go to mat. And then we're going to inhale, come back up through table. Exhale, take a breath. Inhale onto the knees. We're going to lift those fingertips up. So you are lifting up through the knees, engaging the thighs. The abs are working here as you reach on up as high as comfortable. And then exhale, we'll fold into a child's pose. Let's take a breath here. Next inhale for you, come up to tabletop. And exhale. And then inhale, fingertips reach all the way up. From here, let's have the right hand grab the left wrist. And then you'll gently start to guide it over on an exhale. If the neck and shoulders feel sensitive, feel free to look down. But if you can, heart shines up. And so now you're pressing both knees equally onto the mat, navel's in and up. So you really want to feel the thighs engage and the abdominals working. So we are working our core right now. Exhale, come back to center. Left hand will grab the right wrist. We're going to reach on up. Inhale. Then exhale over to the left. And then we'll bring those hands back down. And then from here, let's go back to an easy child's pose. If you also needed to, you could always put a pillow on top of the calves. And so if the sitting bones don't go to the heels easily, that will be a little extra padding too. So that's also an idea. Take an inhale and exhale. One more breath here. And then we're going to come on up to table. So this is going to look different for everyone. If you have yoga blocks, you're probably going to want them handy, and I'll give modifications if you don't. So let's get a toe stretch in, because in our Neuropathy is a real thing. And whether you have that or not, our feet, we very rarely stretch them. So here are the options. Your knees and your toes are going to touch, and then you're going to curl the toes under. So it'll look like this. And I could take my socks off just to make sure. So from the back side, you have the toes curled under like this. If you feel comfortable, hands can still support you, but you could bring the seat to the heels. I remember the first time I did this a long time ago, it was very painful. So I remember. Another trick is you could have props like blocks or whatever you're using for blocks. And when it becomes too much, you simply pick up the knees. The other idea is hands, you just simply lift the sitting bones. But if you can hang here with me for a few breaths, do it. This is something you can add in daily. And breathe. So this is a posture that I really feel like it teaches you to breathe through the hard times in life, off of your mat, and definitely in this yoga pose, toe stretch. Relax the shoulders. Let's get 2 more breaths in here. 1 more inhale through the nose. And exhale. Hands are going to go on the mat. You can lightly pad those feet out for a counter stretch if that feels good. And then we're going to make our way to stand. Stand any way that's comfortable. If you have your blocks and that's helpful, you can grab them and take one foot in front of the other. And we're going to go into a half. First, you could actually simply fold forward, or you could bend the knees, but we're at home. So if you want to take furniture like your bed or dresser, or you have a wall here and this feels more comfortable, you're going to put your hands on the door or the wall. And then we're going for a hamstring stretch. So you can get that in many ways. If it feels okay, or it feels good, I should say, to have a forward fold with hands on a prop or opposite elbows, do that. So I want you to make this your own. We're going to take a couple of rounds of breath here. Whether you're using a prop or you're forward folding, think about the weight in the pinky toe, the big toe, and the heel. If you're anything like me, the weight will naturally go to the big toes, but you want those pinky toes to still be working as well. So then you're really shifting the weight to really 3 points of the feet. The big toe, pinky toe, and heel are all equal. And then we're going to gently come up to a standing position. So walk up the wall or the bed if you're there. Hands can come up to the hips. Take an inhale. Have a flat back so you work your core some, and then exhale, come all the way to stand. And then we're going to find ourselves in a mountain pose. So in this mountain pose, you have your feet about hip distance. You could actually take 2 fists and measure, and that's going to be pretty close to your hip distance. And the feet are going to be parallel, shoulders down the back, palms are facing forward. This is a posture that you could close your eyes if you like, even though it might seem kind of scary. You can also look somewhere close to the floor. I want you to be able to relax here. Taking an inhale through the nose, press through the heels and grow a little bit taller. And also a trick is to pick up all 10 toes. Sometimes helps you keep the weight in the heels and the balls of the feet. Lift through the knees and the thighs, and you notice you grew taller. The chest is open, the shoulders are open. And take a few rounds of breath here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. And you can relax all 10 toes if you picked them up to try that. From here, we're going to take those fingertips, reach them up. Right hand's going to grab that left wrist again. We're going to gently reach it on over to the right, navel in and up, and see if you can keep the left foot and the right foot pressed equally into the mat here. On an exhale, come back to center. Left hand will grab the right wrist. We're going to reach up and then over to the left, navel in and up. So again, feeling in the shoulders, the chest, maybe that armpit area. We're also creating space between each vertebra, which brings more hydration in as well, and it helps prevent injury. So all of it's so good. Exhale, come back to center, hands down. So let's play around a little bit with Utkatasana chair. Be real easy with it. Hands are going to be at the hips, and you're just going to gently pretend that you're sitting in a chair pose. Or you're sitting in a chair, and this is called chair pose, Utkatasana. So you're sitting down here. Hands are going to go to heart center. Inhale, we're going to gently press through the heels and straighten up. Exhale, weight is in the heels, especially as you sit down. Inhale, let's straighten. We'll do one more. And then exhale, slowly navel in and up as you sit down. From here, we're all going to find a seat. So that could be different for everybody. You could put your hands on the mat and sit back. If you have great balance, you can lift the heels up and sit back, whatever feels good. And we're going to go onto our backs. And we're going to go into a pose similar to what we were just doing standing. So you'll flex the toes, and we're going to take the arms above your head. Let's have the lower body active, so waist down is active. So pretend that we're standing, arms above the head, right hand will grab the left wrist as you pick the shoulders up. And I want you to be comfortable. So both shoulders are resting on the floor here. So you only go over as far as you can. And we're doing standing half moon lying on our back. Definitely close the eyes and relax. Inhale. And exhale. Holding here, inhale. And exhale. Come back to center and we'll do one more. Inhale. Exhale over to the left. Notice if the right side and the left side of the body feel different. And then we'll come back to center. Let's inhale the right thigh towards the chest. Hands are going to swoop and interlace around the shin. And then we'll just gently squeeze the right thigh towards the right shoulder area. The left leg can actually relax for now. And just make sure that right leg isn't going to the heart. You are going for the outer rib shoulder area here. If this feels amazing, hold here. You can also take the left hand and grab the right foot. The right hand will stay below the knee and you can rock side and then across the body a couple of times. Stay with that breath work. And then wherever you are, we will release. So you can give one more squeeze. Right leg down. Take a breath here. Inhale. Exhale. And then we're going to inhale that left thigh towards the left shoulder. Interlace the fingers. And we'll give it a squeeze to the outer rib shoulder area. You can relax the right leg. If you rocked on the right side, let's take the right hand and grab the left foot. You'll do it on this side. Go across the body, to the left, and across. Just move with your breath work here. And then maybe give it another squeeze if you were just rocking the leg. And then straightening that left leg. Take an inhale here. And exhale. So we're going to take a little rest here. The lower back feels tender. Feel free to put blocks or pillows under the knees. Palms can rest by the side and facing up. Press their shoulder blades onto the mat. And finding stillness here. Sometimes this can be the hardest posture. We're going to take a quick Shavasana together. So find stillness as quick as you can. Allow that breath work to be part of your music, your practice right now, your environment. Notice if you feel that belly lifting up in the chest and lower. And there is absolutely no rush to Get out of your Shavasana pose. It's translated to corpse pose. So after you wake up, it's like you've had a sleep, a rest, and you wake up reawakened, refreshed, and renewed from your yoga practice. Staying here as long as you like. Otherwise, you'll wiggle the fingers and toes with me, and you can roll on your side. And then gently pushing yourself up to a seated position. Cross one leg in front of the other. Hands can go to the thighs. And then as you're ready, go ahead and float the palms to heart center. The thumbs can rest against the heart, navel in, shoulders down the back. And take this moment to honor yourself for you taking this time to breathe and to move your body, because it is a very big deal. Ending also with 3 things on your gratitude list. For inspiration, you could always go with food, shelter, water, loved ones, whatever comes to mind. And then thumbs to third eye, right between the eyebrows. Namaste, which means the light or the good within me sees the light or the good within you. Namaste. All right. I hope everyone feels really good after that. Leave us some comments to let us know how you feel, if you enjoyed it, if you have questions.
Cari, that was amazing.
Oh, good.
Oh, I didn't do the actual yoga poses and stuff again because I just didn't have any space in my house to do so tonight. But I followed along and did some of the breathing and tried in my little space here to, do some of the toe stretches and the hip stretches. And something that you said when you were talking about the toe stretches blew me out of the water because, I don't think we talk about it enough, but that neuropathy is a very real thing for women and men who go through treatment for breast cancer and treatment for a lot of other cancers too. And, we're often told that it's something that can happen, that there might be, a handful of strategies to kind of help prevent it sometimes, but that they're not necessarily, like widely effective. And to know that certain stretching moves and certain, like you have it in your control to do things, little steps, something easy that can really make a difference in that. And that's wonderful to know that yoga is part of that as well. That's incredible.
Yeah. And speaking on that, I will say, I don't know if anyone else experienced this, but after my tendons in my feet changed after chemo, where I immediately had to buy insoles for my shoes. And so to this day, if people aren't doing that, that's something, I'll go to the store and get a special fitted. If I don't, my feet, and this is 2 years later, they still hurt from that. So that's another resource that your doctor's probably not going to tell you to do, but you should do it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll share too that, getting spasms and stuff in your feet, your lower legs, even, around other joints in your body too. It's a reality, because chemo does affect you down to every cell in your body. And it's just so important to know these strategies are out there, that you can have relief and that you're not alone in experiencing it, right? I mean, it is really, really common, but I guess we just don't talk about it a lot. So thank you for sharing about that.
You're welcome.
So I had a question, and I'm wondering if anybody else out there has the same question. But so a lot of the poses you talk about kind of dropping the shoulders. And I know in this crazy busy world that we live in, we kind of often are, we have our shoulders jacked up all the time, right? That's like that stressed out pose. But I find myself when I do practice yoga that isn't something I remember to do. Do you have any recommendations for those of us who struggle with that shoulder thing to kind of help us remember? Is it something that after time will just kind of come more naturally?
I think so. I think that it does come naturally after time. And I do think it's a nice reminder for the teacher to share, because, we are thinking about that type of stuff. And I will also say, I know for rebuilding the muscle, I was having such a hard time, and after surgery and then after chemo too, that I had to retrain myself to constantly take my shoulders down the back. And I remember being so tired by the simple action of shoulders down the back. And I would try to sit there for 5 minutes and I'm like, this is exhausting.
Yeah.
So that is something, if someone is just recovering from surgery, it's maybe put reminders on even your phone, especially if you just finished surgery like that and you're in your PT. But yeah, I think if you're in a yoga practice, I do think it comes with time, but it is nice for a teacher to be able to remind you that too, because there's so many things to think about, your breath work and where are your feet doing and all of that.
Yeah.
But like with anything, the more that you make an intention to focus on it, and even on your computer, that would be a nice, since that's where most people are working, you could like have a little sticky note, like shoulders down the
Hey.
back or something.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And I think, yeah, we talk about in the habit change challenge that that these kinds of things do become habit after time, right? I mean, it's just that you've got to create the environment and have the cues there to trigger yourself to do that, because the reward is how much stronger and better and more relaxed you feel.
And I've
Yeah.
heard not about the shoulder thing, but just when people are trying to remind themselves, I've heard about people putting alarms on their phone every hour as a check-in, and that's what somebody can do. And if you need to do it, like, are you relaxing your shoulder? So I do think if you, because I had to do that after surgery too, like if you make a constant reminder and a habit of it, eventually you will just do it.
Yeah. I'm going to take that. That's going to be my big takeaway is I am recovering from surgery. I'm about, I guess, a month out yesterday. And,
Yeah.
it takes time because the incisions go so deep in, right? And so, the outer part is healing, but there's layers and layers of this that still need to heal. But I also need to be mindful of, doing that stretching and building that strength and mobility, because that ultimately helps, your outcomes and all of it. So that's something important to take away. And I appreciate that so much. Every time that we interact, I learn more. I'm so grateful for you. Just wonderful. So I'll just give it, we've got about a 10-second delay in our live, but I just want to see if anybody that's watching live had any questions.
Okay.
We did have quite a bit of live viewers, so that was really great to see
Oh,
throughout.
good.
Yeah. It's excellent because, people on our Facebook page at least will be able to see the recording of this as well as it pops up in their feeds if they couldn't join us live. So lots of people will be getting benefit from this, and then we'll get to see you again next month.
Yeah, I'm excited to do it next month. So yeah, if anybody has something, request or anything, you could go ahead and put it in the comments so we'll know what they are.
Awesome. All right. And then in the event description for today, I have put all of Cari's contact information. Please check her out again on Facebook, on YouTube. She's got a great webpage. I definitely want to put a shout out. She's got a Wellness Warrior challenge that she does. That's amazing. And y'all, you can do yoga in bed. Did you know? I
I
didn't know. I'm
know.
so excited.
I know.
Oh, I love it. Oh, Cari, thank you so much for joining. I'm not seeing anybody posting comments, but for those who post, if we miss them, we'll get back to them, or join us next month and we'll revisit. Thanks again, Cari. Really appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.